Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and we are all here. That's right, all of us. Hello, Myra J. How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
Good, thanks. And young Quinn, you're back from your adventures in the big NYC.
Yes, I'm here. I'm back. Wednesday is going well. Grateful to be here with y'all.
You got kind of an I Dream a Genie look to you today, with the
Oh,
hair and the pony across the shoulder. Yeah, yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. I'm
Very
trying
Barbara.
these braids. I'm ready to take them out, to be honestly, but we're here.
God, you sound like somebody else I know. Okay. Hey, George Wallace, how you doing?
Good morning, everybody. Everybody's looking so wonderful today. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Well, it's good to see you, George. Thanks for joining us.
But of course, thank you for inviting me to come in and talk to you three lovely young ladies.
Well, I can't speak for Myra, but I will just say for moi, one young lady.
And the beautiful
And
young Quinn that visited my city, New York City. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know you're broke, but you know.
Oh.
It's an expensive city. You're right about that, George.
I was like, Greg, Trace.
It's terrible. Everybody's got to hand out for a tip. Tipping is killing me now. I don't know who to tip. And sometimes you go into a place, they got a thing for a tip, and they didn't do anything. Tipping is getting on my nerves.
Right,
The
right.
most expensive thing we paid for was Uber, and I paid $65 for one of those drawings in New York in Times Square. I wish I
They
could show
saw
y'all.
you coming. Oh,
A
honey.
drawing of
You
what?
paid $65 for what?
A drawing of yourself?
Myra, don't you say anything because you gave me a Christmas gift one time.
This is supposed to be
Framed a
me
picture
and
of me.
Ashley, and it doesn't even look like me or Ashley.
Did they give you your money back?
No, he took
Oh.
all of our cash, and he was like, "I've been an artist for 25 years," and Ashley was just refusing to pay him, and I felt so.
And how long you
conflicted.
been making money off of this until you met us?
Man, he tricked us for real. He tricked us for real. But New York was great. New York was
Yeah.
cool. Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's great. You
I'm glad you had
did you see
fun.
any shows?
No, we did not see any shows. We did go to the Museum of Sex,
Oh,
which I know
right.
the title of it. You guys are gonna think that, and it is
Hold on.
that, but it's more.
Hold on one second. Let me put my earbuds in. What you say you did go to Museum of who?
Sex.
SEX?
No,
Yes.
SAX. It was a bunch of
It
saxophones.
was, it was a musical. It was a musical instrument
Right.
museum.
I want to go there. If there's no sex, if there's some sex, I want to go there. You hear me?
It's
I
not
quit-
just sex. It talks about the history of, like, the first gynecological instrument, how they discovered this based off the exploitation, the murdering, and also just like the abuse of Black women. They talk about the first, dildo, going back all the way to even, like the first Queen Elizabeth, just like how sex has just been redefined and defined over and over again. And they have like 4 different levels, and it ends with like a slide, and you come out of like a butt, and then you're just like bouncing on titties, and it's like it's a fun arcade game. It's really fun. I suggest everybody should go. It was a cute date.
And it was enhanced by some adult beverage.
Oh yes, so they did pass out gummies and lots of cocktails. So yeah.
I guess that was foreplay, and then the rest of it,
Okay, you get a whole like 4D like ride experience where like water actually comes on your. It's really great. It's really great. You guys should go.
My hearing is not really good. Did you say you were bouncing your titties?
No, not her. She was bouncing off of some that were in the museum. Because when you go to the Sax Museum, you have to have cocktails. It just comes with it.
Oh my!
Oh
Put my
boy, we
earbuds in. I'm not hearing.
I
I'm not
know, like
hearing.
it's together.
George, while you get yourself together, we'll start on the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our newsletter that we put out every day, Monday through Friday. We would love to have you subscribe to it. It is still free in 2023. Please go to sybilwilkes.com to sign up for it. And Quinn, you are our LGBTQ plus activist, and you have a story in the newsletter. And it looks like as other anti-trans states go, so goes South Dakota.
Yes, South Dakota officially becomes the second state. The first state was Utah, which is, I think, a little less than 2 weeks ago now. South Dakota is now the second state to ban gender affirming care for minors. So the South Dakota Republican Governor Kristi Noem on Monday, this past Monday, signed a bill into law that will ban both surgical and non-surgical gender affirming treatments for transgender minors in the state. HB 1080 outlaws the prescription and administration of puberty blocking medication in patients under the age of 18, as well as sex hormones and surgery related to gender transition. Healthcare providers who violate the new law, which takes effect July 1, risk civil suits and losing their professional license. As I say, like, this comes on the heels of Utah officially banning gender affirming care, surgical and non-surgical as well. And as talked about before, gender affirming care is medically necessary with evidence-based care that uses a multidisciplinary approach to help a person transition from their assigned gender to the one the person was designated at birth to their affirmed gender. So the assigned gender, the one that they were designated at birth, to their affirmed gender, the gender by which one wants to be known. And though gender affirming care is highly individualized, some children may decide to use reversible puberty suppression therapy. And this part of the process may also include hormone therapy that can lead to gender affirming physical change. Surgical interventions, however, are not typically done on children, and many healthcare providers do actually not provide them to minors. Opponents of this
So
bill,
these cases are really moot. They don't mean anything. It's just an opportunity for the state politicians to make a big noise and let people know they don't like this. But if surgeries are not typically done on children, and it's usually done on someone 18 and older, or at least a high age teenager. I love when Pawpaw comes to visit. Then it really doesn't mean anything. You're just blowing a lot of smoke, but you're not really doing anything effectively.
the issue with this, Sybil, is that it bans the surgery and the non-surgery. So South Dakota is also banning the hormone related therapy, so the drug suppressants, as well as anything that blocks any type of hormone addition. So children under the age of 18 won't be able to even take any pills to suppress anything. They pretty much are forcing them to be who they do not want to be until the age of 18.
And block the change that they're seeking.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Is there anything in there that allows you to go to another state, the way they are trying to stop women from getting abortions and going to neighboring states that do allow it? Are they allowing, or are they holding people back from going somewhere else to have this done? Do you know?
I don't think there's anything that bans folks from getting the gender affirming care from other states, similar to how places that do have strict abortion laws can go get an abortion somewhere else. I do think there is access, but because they are children and parents, they did a beautiful write-up about this one parents that were moving from Utah to another state just so their child could continue with their hormone related therapy. So a lot of parents are just choosing to up and move, which again still is a cost.
That sure. Uprooting your lives and moving to another part of the country.
Yeah. So far, there are over 80 bills seeking to restrict access to gender affirming care that have been introduced around the country. So this is definitely a trend. This is a wave that is coming. So hopefully, just going to keep our prayers up for all of the trans youth and just the battles that we have to continue to fight.
Wow. It's very sad, and now it's starting to look like it's having a domino effect, just like with the abortion laws and what have you, passing in a lot of these conservative states. I don't know. So also in the newsletter every week on a weekly basis, we have the Black and Missing section. We'd love for you to go and take a look at it, because we really appreciate our partnership with the Black and Missing Foundation and talking about young people and sometimes older people of color that don't get the attention as they've gone missing and reported by their families. They don't get the mainstream media attention. This one is about Marsha Green. This is one of those situations that we hear about And unfortunately, it's a real life situation. This little girl came to visit her grandmother for her grandmother's birthday from Louisiana. They came to Dallas, Texas. And her mom and her grandmother went out shopping. They came back, and Marche, 14-year-old Marche, was missing. They believe that she may have gone with a man that she had an online relationship with. Um, this is dangerous and it's sad and it's not uncommon. But she was communicating with an unknown male online, made arrangements for him to pick her up after her mother left to take her grandmother shopping. And she has not been seen or heard from since the 4th of February. She's been missing since February 4th of this year. Marche is 14 years old. She is 5'3" and with black hair and brown eyes and medium brown complexion. And it's, I mean, I'm smiling because, you know, she's got one of those goofy kind of pictures and photographs of a little girl. And I fear what could become of Marche if she is involved in this online relationship with people, with a person who's an adult. And that would be George. I also want to ask people to take a look at the story that we did about the shooting at Michigan State University. This happened this past week, and I, I become emotionally involved in stories like this. Whether it's I just did the story about the Buffalo shooter being sentenced, now about this man who, from all outside looks at this, had no relationship to anyone or anything at Michigan State University in East Lansing, Michigan. But a man who apparently had some mental issues, as it's now coming out, and lived with his father. And his father said he'd just become very mean and evil since his mother died in 2020. He was also picked up several times for having guns and weaponry, known and called the police by his neighbors for shooting out of the back of the house, and called himself taking target practice and what have you. And he went onto the campus of Michigan State Monday night and went into a classroom, went into an academic building, went into a classroom and opened fire, killing 2 young people. Left that and went to the student union and killed a 3rd person. And then they posted a picture of him, if anyone had any information. And there was a person who recognized him and told the police who he was. And they caught up with him in a commercial area. And as they were holding off and trying to establish some sort of contact with him, he killed himself. And he was a 40-something-year-old Black man. And now people are asking, how does this happen? And of course, the questions about gun ownership and how, you know, people with mental illnesses are able to have weaponry and what have you. The crazy thing about this story is that these young people, many of them, this was not their first go round with violence. One young lady was in the 6th grade when the Newtown School in Connecticut, when those 6 and 7-year-olds were killed and their teachers. That was 10 years ago. One young man was at the Boston Marathon when the bombing took place. His father was a runner. And another young woman, and these weren't the victims. These are people who were affected, were there on the campus. And another young woman was at the high school where a young teenage boy, with his parents' permission, had a gun, took the gun to school and murdered several students. And this also happened on the eve of the anniversary of the shooting at the Parkland, Florida high school.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You hate to put anything negative out into the universe. However, to me, they won't do anything until it affects them directly.
And Myra, I don't think they care. I don't think even if it was their children, that they would do anything.
If somebody just walks up into where they're holding a meeting and does something awful, then all of a sudden America has a problem.
Well, I hate to say this, but someone did that. They were practicing for a baseball game, members of Congress, and Steve Scalise.
Right. What wasn't enough?
So
That was just one
he had
person.
to have been killed for them to do something.
Several. It has to be quote unquote mass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
I promise you, if something like that happens, I'm not saying that they will correct the situation, but they will definitely make a change, and it'll be quick. It'll be very quick, because then it will be an emergency, because
Yeah.
it's them.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn.
They don't care about Hispanic children being killed. They don't care about people being killed in a Buffalo supermarket, Black folks being killed there. They don't care about the students, Black and white, killed on the campus of Michigan State.
Sandy Hook, none of it. That's what
No.
I don't know if
No.
if color even matters. Age doesn't matter if it's babies.
It's about this and the money that they're getting from the gun industry.
Before Sandy Hook, it was Columbine.
Columbine, yeah.
And to even go back on your Black and Missing here in Atlanta, it was such a tragic story. It's a young Hispanic girl, 16 years old, came up missing about 6 months ago. Video of her walking home to text them. They found her body, unfortunately, last week. Arrested a young African American police officer.
Jesus.
From Douglasville. Today, a young Black lady comes out and says, I reported this guy for stalking me. She has him, they have him on camera going to her place several times trying to get in. When she wasn't there, he kicked her door in. She reports this to the police, and the police said, well, we're aware, and we told him to stop it. We told him to stop it.
And the same thing with the beating death of Tyree Nichols. Other Black men had told and had complained to the police force in Memphis about the beating up that they had taken, the beatings they had taken at the hands of the police officers, and nothing was done. And Coy has done stories too. The same thing, Myra, where they have reported, that they have been abused by a policeman, and nothing has been done. And here you have this case of this young girl, and as a necessity to back up what they already know, that he was a bad guy.
Yeah. But once again, we're talking about people of color.
Right.
So it goes to the back burner. It's not urgent.
That's right. That's right. So and if I offended anyone with my headline, I apologize. I did ask if I should do this, but what came to mind as I was writing this story was the Tupac song, "They Don't Give an F About Us." And,
I was so offended, Sybil.
Well,
you used the 4-letter word "they."
But I was caught up, and I really believe that. I really believe they don't really give a damn about us. What they care about is being paid and supporting the NRA and gun companies and ammunition companies. And George, I'm sorry if I offended you, George Wallace.
He has to unmute.
He has no audio, and I'm liking him like that.
George, you're still you're muted, George. Okay, we'll go on to something else.
Go on while George tries to find the button.
Can't tell you how many times. All right. So now we have our What's Really Going On segment and the question of the day. National My Way Day is coming up. And ladies, if you could provide one of your own personal rules that you live by, that you would like to pass on to the world, what would it be? One of your personal rules. So we know that Kwyn is a very giving person and doesn't like the economic stratas that people live in and under. Perhaps that would be yours. Mine would be a 3-day work week. I would love to have, to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, have Monday and Friday off, and life would be good for me. Although my executive producer thinks that I probably work that way anyway. So do you all have personal rules or things that you live by that you wish everybody would come onto your side and live by one of your rules, Myra?
Life is a dance. Don't half step.
All right.
Go for
All
it.
right.
Ain't no half stepping.
Ain't no half stepping here, baby. Just go for it.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
I would like to have a city called Wallaceburg. No, no, this is not funny. Wallaceburg, no guns allowed. If you're caught with a gun, you have to move. You can't have guns there. Only in your home. You can protect yourself in your home. But I just don't like the violence going on. You shouldn't have a gun on the street for no reason whatsoever, because even if you own one, it makes you a bigger person than you think you are. If you're confronted with a situation, you're going to defend yourself, but in some cases, it doesn't warrant to kill someone, Just like the guy in Jacksonville, Florida, shot the guy because the music was too loud. Huh? Right. So what? Get in the car and drive off.
Yeah. Roll your windows up, put your air conditioner on, and leave them alone.
But it's just too much violence, and it makes me, sometimes it makes me cry, to be honest with you, especially when it's always people of color. And then you got the 5 policemen in Memphis, and they were people of color. All of that makes me so angry. And people being forceful with guns. Just get rid of guns. I know you should have one, but keep it in your house. Keep it in your home. Wallaceburg.
Wallaceburg. Okay. All right, George. We're all going to pack up and move to Wallaceburg. I like that. I absolutely.
Yeah, and even if there's a few guns, it'll still be less crime.
But that was the beauty of Mayberry. The sheriff did not have a gun. Yeah. That's right. Andy Griffith.
He didn't have a gun?
No. Unfortunately, Barney carried
Barney
a gun.
had a gun.
and didn't do very well with it.
And was it Floyd that would report himself to jail every weekend? Was that Floyd?
No, that was Otis.
Otis the drunk.
Yeah.
I was thinking of 2 rules. One, just like in corporate America anyway, if it can be an email, then no meeting. Like, we do not have to meet on Zoom to talk about the flyer. Just tell me in the email. I was thinking about that. And I would also like the rule of longer lunch breaks. Like, lunch breaks should not be an hour. Like, how about
hold on now? What the hell are you talking about? An hour is long enough to eat. What do you want? 2 hours?
Am I in prison? No, I want to eat for as long as I want to eat. I want to eat for like 3 to 4.
So give us an idea. How long? So is it 2 hours for lunch?
I just think by lunchtime, I should go do what I want to do for how long it's going to be. And I think break should be priority.
Do you hear yourself? Is that why you're laughing?
I know. She has to. She's just entertaining herself right now.
I just feel like my mom talks about how fast I eat all the time. And I'm like, that's because CPS and Chicago Public Schools, you got 30 minutes to get through the line, eat the whole square pizza, and then go back to class. But like, if we tell kids they can chill out and they can breathe, like for lunch, like what if it's just
that sounds very European.
Is it? Okay.
No.
Yeah, they have like siesta. And then they go back to work, and then they have dinner very late at night.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that program can work, because once I had all my employees in New York when I was vice president of marketing at the advertising agency, I told all my employees, if you get your work done by 3, you can go home. No matter what, they were done at 3, and they accomplished the same goals. And I know it can work. And also in sales, they didn't care whether we went to lunch for 4 or 5 hours, as long as we had a bottom line. So the program could work.
You made that sale.
Yeah, if you make that sale and you got a bottom line, you met your quota. We don't care if you go to the beach. And I did go to the beach. And I did everything. I went to Broadway in New York. So I did everything I wanted. But I had a bottom line. I met my quota. So it could work.
I was saying you could eat regardless of the quota.
Well, see, then and there lies the problem, and there goes production down the drain because Kwyn wanted to sit down and enjoy this sushi.
Yes.
One little piece slice of fish at a time.
Yes,
And no productivity.
With the
Eating-
chopsticks.
Eating one grain of rice, you said at a time.
Right.
No, this last time, just remember to breathe and eat. I can't remember the last time I actually ate and actually like savored it, unless around the holidays, you know.
Thank you, Yolanda. Michelle Lynn Summerall said that's called self-employment, Kwyn.
That's true. Exactly.
Well,
That is so true.
Michelle, the HR person to the rescue. Yes, it is exactly right.
Listen, I'm gonna find a job, even if it's my own, that I'm gonna have my breaks. I believe in bio breaks and drinking water. People don't drink enough water either. That's true.
Well,
That's true.
If that is water,
Kwyn
Myra.
says, pull the show over. Let's have a water break. Okay.
Okay. All
But
right,
Sybil,
here we
you'll
go.
find most people that are self-employed, they work hard. Most self-employed people work harder than most.
They do.
I will tell you to a person that no one works harder, and I know he called himself the hardest working man in radio, but no one works harder today, as far as I can tell, is Yolanda Starks White. Nobody. And you may not see her. It's like a duck on water. You may not see her paddling and doing all this stuff, but she has an incredible work ethic, which I don't think a lot of us have. And especially owning our own business, she works harder than anybody I've ever known.
Well,
I ain't
we
never seen her do a damn thing.
For your work, Yolanda Starks White.
I don't know anything whatever Yogi does. We don't know what it is. All we know is her jewels. That's all we know. She has jewels. That's all we know. You ever seen her do anything? It's just the jewels, her jewels. That's all she talks about, her jewels. I never seen her work. I never even with a stapler. I never saw her talk on the phone. Never saw her do a damn thing. I'm sorry.
My God.
What they say, God don't like ugly. She do it. Put the water down, first of all. Move the water.
She just manifested that, George.
Move the water, George.
Yes, Yolanda, would you like to respond to George Wallace?
Yeah, Yolanda Adams. I know this lady. I talk to her all the time. She can talk. Oh, hell, she can talk. Yeah, but I never see her do a damn thing.
Yolanda, we'll give you a few minutes if you'd like.
Every time I talk to Yolanda, and when she even produces the show in bed.
Yolanda, she got nothing for you, George.
She's probably giving me the finger on the side over there.
She doesn't have time to give you the finger, George. She's working. She's working.
Audio only, yes.
Yolanda,
she could cut me off. She could cut me off.
Yeah, she could. She really could. Yolanda, do we have any other responses? Aretha Rice on Facebook says, never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. That sounds like something a parents would say. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. That sounds about it.
And then all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough.
Well, Peter Parker picked up peck of pickled peppers. That's what it sounds like to me.
I liked it, Aretha. I liked it a lot. And I think, I'm not sure if that's water that George has in that bottle, ladies and gentlemen.
I wish I did have some vodka. I need a vodka gimlet with a splash of Cointreau right now. I can get drunk and cuss.
The splash of what?
Cointreau.
What's Cointreau?
Ooh,
like
you can.
liqueur.
It's a liqueur.
It's an orange liqueur. So you try it. It's a vodka
It's
gimlet
Just
with
put
a
a
splash of.
splash in anything.
Yeah.
Make it better.
I've had it in margaritas.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had it in anything else but a margarita.
That's
Yeah.
Put in the
margarita is vodka, isn't it? Vodka.
Oh,
no.
This is embarrassing.
I don't drink, so I don't know. I know you like those. What you call that stuff from Mexico? Tequila. I know you like that. Is that what margarita's made of?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't drink. I don't know these drinks. Okay.
If I had a rule of my own making that I would wish that people would have just kindness. I wish people would be kind. You know,
that's really nice.
I had a sweater and I can't find it now. It said "Be kind," and I have the sign. You know, but it is. Kindness is just not a part of our makeup anymore.
It's so nice though when you receive kindness. I mean, I notice this when I'm in the grocery store. And maybe it's a Southern thing, Sybil, but when I pass people, and when some people pass me, they always say, "Excuse me, excuse me." I think that is so kind and so nice when people say that.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm wondering if it's amongst us in our communities, or if it is a Southern thing, or if it's overall.
I think happiness is real infectious. I know for Valentine's Day, students, we're giving out roses on campus, and so I took the campus bus to a meeting, and I had my flower, and there was a white student with all her flowers, and she's looked at me and she's like, "I like your flowers," and nobody else was talking to me, and I'm like, "I like yours too," and we were just talking about flowers, and I was like, "It's so infectious and contagious." Like, I think kindness comes from happiness, and people aren't really happy right now.
That's true.
Understandable. But yeah, I don't think it's just a Black or Southern thing. I think if you're happy, then you're kind, because you pour from that
when
cup.
you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
It is a Southern thing, though. If you grew up when I grew up, everybody spoke to everybody, even the prejudiced white people. They would at least nod their head, good morning, everybody would say good morning. That is gone. Remember when people say good morning? You go to New York and it scares you when somebody says good morning. What the hell do you want from me? But that's gone.
They're looking for that tip.
So true.
Happiness, you spoke of happiness is a choice.
Yeah,
Think about it. It's a choice.
That's true.
That's
Yolanda
so true,
tells me
Myra.
that I choose to be happy, and
that is the best line ever, Myra. Happiness is a choice. I love being happy. I love being around happy people. When I see happy people, it makes me happier. Come on, everybody, let's get happy.
What did Frankie say about happy people, Myra?
Happy people. That's what he said.
So what's the other guy? He said, don't worry.
Be happy.
Be happy, yeah.
That's right. Absolutely.
Because I'm happy.
And you know it. Absolutely. I know people are talking about that 3-day work week, and in the land of Sybil, I promise you, we'll all do that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and take off Friday through Monday.
I would love that too.
There's lots of people that work 3-day work week. They work 12 hours a day for 36 hours, and they only work 3 days a week. That's a lot of that going on in America.
Aubrey Williams, I absolutely love you. On YouTube, if I had a rule, it would be please, I added the others, only have less than 10 items in a self-checkout line. It's a headache seeing folks with 20 bulk items in a checkout line. I had that today. I went in to get some soyless soy sauce and 2 bananas. And I'm standing there, and this lady had, the Costco size towels and Costco size toilet paper and the gazillion gallons of water, and nobody was working in the cashier.
The other lane, the regular lane.
A lot of stores now, they only have self-checkout. They don't even have the ones with the associates now. So
wow.
I went to Walmart one night. Around closing time. There was no cashiers. I didn't know what to do. There was 1,000 people in line. I'm going, you boop, 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 boop. That is terrible. And there was one lady there. She says, I'm going home. This was in a Walmart. I don't know anything about Walmart. Maybe I should be ashamed to say I was there, but they got Haagen-Dazs for $3.99. So that's what I went in to get. But it was a super Walmart. So you know how many, must have been 15, 18 registers all self-serve. That is terrible.
Yeah. And I like to go into the cashier where the cashiers are manning and womaning the section. The checkout lines.
I don't like the self-checkout. I don't work there.
I like
checkout. And at least take off the price of some of the stuff.
For the little tiny little scan thing. Plus, to me, you have some avocados. It's no damn little scan thing on the avocado.
Right.
Put in the code. Put in the code. I don't work here. I don't know the code.
Well, I do know
Somebody
bananas
has a job.
are 4011. I don't know avocados what the produce number is.
So if you go to the self checkout lane, you should get a discount because you are.
Yes,
that's right.
That's true.
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
Yep.
Take off half of those eggs while you're at it. Yeah.
Now the egg industry just caught on. Okay. That's all that happened. There's plenty of chickens out there. I was talking to the chicken man yesterday. There's lots of chickens.
You're talking to
and the chicken man had told me a long time ago, if the chickens were to stop laying eggs, it would destroy the economy. You think about it. I've been thinking about this for a long time. If there's no chicken, no eggs out there, there's no Grand Slam at Denny's, huh? If you ain't got no eggs, you got no birthday cakes. And if you don't have the birthday cakes, you don't need the candles on the birthday cake. And the mattress that the box came in. So the chicken and the eggs are just catching on. Everything else has gone up. The gas keep going up, and they keep making more and more money, right? So the chicken people say, well, let's jump in and get on this ourselves. And that's what happened.
And the same thing with the price of everything, George. You're absolutely right. This is awful. Let's move to trending. And
what's trending?
Exactly. What's trending, Myra and George?
I mean, what is it? What is trending?
George.
Myra will call me stupid in a minute. Y'all don't know how Myra treats me on the road, okay?
It doesn't take a road trip to call you that. Right? Sorry.
What is trending? She just look at me. She has that motherly look.
We are in Miami at the Improv this weekend.
Thank you, Myra.
Let me tell you, George and I usually ride to the venue together.
Stop it, Myra.
By the time we get to the venue, we have cussed each other out so badly that the person who's at the back to open up the stage, the back door for us, they don't even come close to the car. They're like, let them get it out their system. Let them get it out.
So simple. We do the show, and Myra cusses me out. I get in the car, and I put my mask on in the car, and she looks at me and goes, what the? You've been out there in front of 500 people, and now you put a mask on in there with me?
You just in the car with me. Oh, what's your problem?
I'm not mad at you, George. You don't know where Myra J's been.
Well, that's
you
true.
need to protect yourself. That's right. Where y'all gonna be this weekend?
Miami Improv.
Miami Improv.
Sunday. One show Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday.
I'm already here in Miami. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
They're coming to the Miami Improv, the legendary George Wallace.
I went to a church in Chicago. Church had 6 commandments and 4, do the best you can.
And Myra J.
I was on the doggone plane, was so cheap. Flight attendant said, "Last 28, close it up."
George Wallace and Myra J. together, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Miami, George Wallace and Myra J. from the Tom Joyner Morning Show. We're back at the Miami Improv Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 17th, 18th, and 19th. Be there. Church people, come on out. All of the preachers, bring your girlfriends. Gonna have a good time. Fort Lauderdale coming out at the Miami Improv. Get your tickets now. Bam, from the Tom Joyner Morning Show. We are back.
George Wallace and Myra J. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 17th through the 19th at the Miami Improv. Get your tickets now. MiamiImprov.com.
Wow, Yolanda, how much do we charge for that spot?
I know.
That was
Let me just say this, and I promise
That
you
was
all
nice.
this year,
That was
I'm gonna
nice,
get a new
wasn't it?
promo picture because that picture y'all can tell is old as hell. I need me some.
Myra, you look good on that. You look good on that photo. You look good on that. Don't ever change.
And so do you. That's why I say them pictures are old.
And what? Whatever you do, you're not going to look any better. So keep the better looking photo.
No, but I do want to look current. I want people to recognize me.
You are recognizable.
Myra, people will always recognize you and your beautiful face.
Oh.
There will never be an issue. Ever.
Y'all ain't never seen her early in the morning.
You ain't either.
Can you feel the love, Kwyn? Can you feel the love tonight? Yeah.
You know what Jay left off? Myra J is on my ass every day. I wish Jay was really. You know those balloons up in there. You know those China had nothing to do with that, right? Those are Jay's mama's drawers. You know when Jay's mama has gas, her drawers go up in the air. Of course it says made in China. That's where they make his mama drawers. Mm-hmm.
Kwyn, just laugh. Just go. You can make a good living that way. You can make
Kwyn
a
doesn't
good
know.
living.
Kwyn doesn't know what happens here. She need to go on the road with us on the weekend.
I'm
And I
down.
guarantee you, Kwyn, before you leave, everybody in the group will say, "Well, F you too, Kwyn."
Why?
Because you would have said it to us.
Ask Yolanda. She'll
I
tell you.
promise you would have said it to us first.
Absolutely.
Oh dear.
Are you all aware of the new drug craze for people trying to lose weight and using the diabetic drug Ozempic?
What that do with my Ozempic? I didn't take a shot. Yeah, I got it. My doctor gave it to me, and I said I wanted to lose 30 pounds. He says you will lose it. So I have it, but I haven't used it yet because you got to stick yourself in the stomach.
What's the problem with it? What are they finding out now?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, it's not worth the risk, according to some health officials. Jillian Michaels, the coach, the weight loss coach, shared some concerns about the drug and its semaglutide, sold as brands like Wegovy and Ozempic, which got FDA approval for chronic weight management in adults and weight-related health conditions. She said the injectable drug has significant side effects ranging from typical to severe, including thyroid cancer, kidney issues, and pancreatitis.
Yeah.
They say that a lot of famous people, I heard about it on like satellite radio or something. I think it was Andy Cohen on Bravo Radio, and talking about, how they had lost a lot of weight. And Chelsea Handler is another one. And they say they don't actually help folks achieve significant weight loss goals. She said the kicker is that one study shows that users regain nearly 70% of the weight they'd lost by taking the drug.
Really?
And people are so crazy about it and are so hyped up about using it that the people who really need the drug, they can't find it.
Wow.
Exactly. My doctor told me that is not available. It's going to be hard to find.
They play the commercial all the time. I have a habit. Yep. I listen to all of those type of medical commercials for side effects.
Right.
I just listen for the side effects, which I find to be hilarious. Like, I just had a blister, but now
I gotta worry about cancer.
Now my bowels are blocked. Yeah, my bowels are blocked.
And all these other side effects.
Right.
For something so simple. So you have to really pay attention to the side effects and decide if it's worth it.
And they always like to put in diarrhea, don't they? Just throw in the diarrhea.
That's explosive bowels.
Yeah. What's wrong with the young Kwyn? Kwyn, she's not 40. She's not 40 yet, is she?
No, she's nowhere near.
When you get our age, you know all of those medicines. You know all those medicines.
Trust me. And if you live long enough, they're going to explode anyway. So I'm just saying, you don't need to take medication for that.
So one of the things I have is stress-related vitiligo, right? And so they have a drug that's for people with vitiligo, and they showed this man and showed the improvement by this drug, and they said, and one of the side effects is various types, and they went through bladder, blah 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 blah, cancer. I was like,
why take it?
What is the use? That's crazy. I mean, if a little, cover up won't work for you, I don't, and if that's, important to you, but that's just crazy. That's just crazy.
They say they make you very nauseated too, and I don't like that feeling,
Right.
My daughter
some
Phoebe
people
tried
take
it. Yeah.
a lot of those diabetic drugs and they can't leave the house.
Because of what?
Because it'll keep you running to the bathroom.
Keep on running.
Have you all ever come across the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
Yeah, when I was a kid, that's the greatest thing. And when you're a kid, you see that big thing going down the street, that big wiener. Oh, I love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly want to be.
The Wienermobile visited your town, George Wallaceville, also known as Las Vegas. And even one of the most noticeable vehicles in the world was not immune to an uptick in crime regarding automobiles. And somebody
took the weenie out the car?
They took the catalytic converter out of it.
Really? That's the best part of the weenie, too.
So the weenie was stuck in the bond? I'm just asking.
For a friend. So they were victim to this. They were parked at a hotel in the parking lot on Paradise Road in Vegas, George. The burglary
That's the street I live on.
I know.
George did it.
He did it.
The discovery was made Friday morning when they couldn't get the wiener on to start ahead of an appearance that day. And so it was
Myra, stop it.
It was ultimately towed.
Myra can't handle the word weenie. Myra, there's something wrong
Myra
with you.
can handle a weenie. She just doesn't like it.
Thank
But
you.
she can handle it.
Thank you, Sybil.
Let that be very clear.
There.
You like mustard?
Shut up, George. Continue, Sybil, with intelligent conversation.
So
and with
I don't know how
information that we
the
need.
mechanics did this, but they installed a temporary catalytic converter on the Wienermobile. And they did, so they had to make this appearance, and then they were told, like the rest of us, for your real catalytic converter, you're gonna have to wait 2 to 3 months to get it. That's what the backlog is for catalytic converters if you've had one stolen from your car.
Now that's what someone should do. Come up with a device where you don't need that catalytic converter. That would be really nice. Somebody got to work on that.
Well, they painted them pink so that they can't steal them and try to pawn them.
So it's kind of like the heart of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
Painted them pink.
Exactly. Yep. Our friend Tyler Perry
How
has
that pink
donated
got on his shirt,
700.
I'm telling you, he stole it.
Tyler Perry has donated $750,000 to seniors living near his film studio so they don't have to move. The taxes have gotten so high in the area of the studio. He's putting up the money so that they can stay in their homes. Atlanta's low-income seniors have been forced out of their homes due to the rising property taxes.
That's nice.
And so they say that Tyler, who is on the Forbes list of 10 highest paid entertainers of 2022, recently reached out to the Atlanta Mayor Dre, to help those residents keep them in their homes. And the $750,000 donation will keep things good in the community, paying off all back property taxes for every low-income senior in Atlanta. And that covers nearly 300 homes.
I need to give him more props. He's always doing something nice. He's always, certain people I need to start talking about is always doing something nice. Tyler Perry. And this guy down from Florida, what's his name? Shaq. I love these people just giving back to the community. They share what they've earned and what the people give them, and they give. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, Shaq and other pro basketball players.
There's a lot of other people.
Things. I'm afraid that we have one last sad story to report, and that is about the death of our friend to the show, Tommy Dortch. Tommy Dortch was once head of the 100 Black Men in Atlanta. We've known Tommy on the Joyner Show for many years, and a leading citizen in the city of Atlanta has passed away after, Myra, I believe when you told us it was a brief illness. And he was 72 years old, described as Atlantic civic leader, an influential Atlanta businessman. And one of his last public appearances in the Atlanta City Hall, where the council was honoring him. And he talked about the promise the city had when he moved there 50 years ago. It was part of a renaissance, and told the audience about the stories about Maynard Jackson's historic run as the city's first Black mayor. And he also talked about, just his life. And apparently part of the story is, and you talked about his illness, and he officially announced that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Terrible.
Just a really good dude. And
always
very
nice.
Sorry.
Always nice.
Yeah. Always very
Can I
nice.
say one thing, Sybil?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to his family and everybody. God bless them. May he rest in peace. Our prayers go out. But guess who I met at the airport yesterday?
Who you met at the airport yesterday?
Senator Reverend Dr.
Raphael.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
he was eating in the Delta Sky Room, and I said, I'm not going to. I had.
You never met him before?
I had, because I met. When I met him, he started laughing because when I did the Trumpet Awards, I made all the preachers stand up.
Oh.
And the camera went dead in on him. Stay standing. That big smile was there. He said, "I got you, George. I'm gonna go join his church."
You don't go to church anymore, George. You do bedside Baptist.
He just said he was going to join. He didn't say he was going to go.
He told me that I could join online. He just the one told me I could join online. But I have to go to his church, because he's a great man, and I think I need to support him. And I'm from Atlanta, and we all support each other in Atlanta. Being there would be nice for me. Yeah, just being there.
That's absolutely right. You're absolutely
Myra will
right.
go with me. Myra will go with me. Hello? Did they mute her?
Did somebody see some lightning?
Myra will go to church. Kwyn, don't you live in Atlanta?
No, I don't. I live in
Where do you
Virginia.
live? Virginia?
Mm.
Who the hell lives in Virginia? Who the hell lives in Virginia? Quinn, do you know anybody else that lives in Virginia? Name me one person that lives in Virginia. Come on, really.
Yeah, my friends here, and also I have some friends in DC.
Her colleagues, she lives and works in Virginia.
Okay. Oh, you just across the DMC, the DMV? You live in the DMV?
No, I'm 2 hours away from like the DMV area.
Oh.
But she is a good Virginia girl.
She's a good girl, period. She's a good lady, period. Yeah.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Yeah. What is that little thing on top of your head, though? That's been bothering me.
We've been wondering the same thing about you, George.
People don't know I have hair.
Oh God.
Perhaps a comb might help. It's time for us to move to entertainment. And everyone knows how great Anita Baker is. And
Yeah.
she had a great show.
Stop, George. If you
What?
don't saying chip, you clackling. Put that
Can you
chip
give
down.
us? Can you give us a few minutes and we'll finish and then you can go?
I'm hungry.
down
I'm
to-
hungry. I'm
I
hungry.
know.
I'm hungry.
I know. Okay.
This
all
is
right.
why you get cussed out every week, Queen. See?
So Anita Baker, a Valentine's Day to remember for those who were at the Anita Baker and Babyface concert in Atlanta last night, and also for Madam Baker herself, because Usher came on stage, presented her with a bouquet of roses, and then performed for her.
Really?
There was a lot of folks, including Usher and Jermaine Dupri, Tamia and Grant Hill, Chris Webber, and they all were there at the State Farm Arena where Usher surprised the audience and the headliner. The confession singer brought out a huge bouquet of roses for Anita and only surprised himself when he was surprised when she passed him the mic for him to perform. And he didn't disappoint, apparently. He sang Same Old Love, the Anita Baker classic, and eventually worked up a sweat and on people on the stage as well. So good on them. And it's a great
I heard it
Valentine's
was
Day.
a great show. A great show. Just keep going. He
Okay, thank
trying
you,
to find
thank
the
you.
on button still.
It's time for the ever popular. It's time for the ever popular Yogi's Jewel. Loving you
Quinn,
means that you
don't
are
get in trouble,
comfortable-
Quinn.
I didn't
Quinn, do it
do
again.
nothing.
George, you're the
You
one
laugh.
that
Don't laugh with
disappeared.
Myra. Don't you laugh with Myra and Sybil. Those are the devils. Them the devils. I'm telling you, the devils, Sybil.
I'm trying to take the devil out of you, George. Will you listen to the daily inspiration?
That's the only thing I know about that lady.
Okay.
Yogi. Your lady.
Loving you means that you are comfortable with being with you.
That's true. Try loving me.
You. It's got to be a tough job, George. So breathe.
If you try loving me and being around with me, you would be one of the most happiest people in the world. Because
hopefully I'll have better grammar. So I'm gonna tell folks that we're going
grammar
to the
don't mean a damn
CIAA.
thing. Let me tell you, grammar don't mean a damn thing.
It means a lot to me. It means a lot.
It does. You're so proper and all your words are right. She hates my tweeting because I sometimes tweet this and that. And over
I
there.
don't understand Quinn when he sends messages and text messages, and I'm like, I'm out. I don't get it.
I'm country, Sybil. I'm country. I'm more
You know how back in the day you used to have this uncle that they would just keep locked up in the back room.
You see now, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, and they
I'm
would
more country than
slide
Steve
the food
Harvey.
under the door. You guys, I'm going to the CIAA. We're going to travel there next week for the CIAA tournament, basketball tournament. We would love to have you. Come join us. Check this out.
Join us for action-packed games as the best men and women ballers take over Baltimore for the 2023 CIAA Basketball Championships this February 21st to the 25th. Experience it all on your schedule. Buy your general admission ticket for the game of your choice and join us to create new legacies. Bring your friends, family, sorors, and frat to experience tip-offs, dunks, and nail-biting buzzer beaters all tournament long. Single session tickets available at CIAAtournament.org. Don't miss out.
We'll see you, Be More. Thanks,
That was great.
everybody.